Israel has an overwhelming lobby over the United States government, and we have unconditionally supported them. We have fought their wars in the Middle East. Bibi Netanyahu came to our Congress in the 90s, told us a list of countries that we need to take out. Some were Syria, Iraq, Iran, Libya, etc. Through those wars, we have lost trillions of dollars. We have lost American servicemen.
We're lobbying everybody else, and they will.
No one's clapping. No one's clapping. Charlie was starting to notice about the Israel lobby.
Could I answer my question? Could I answer the question, please?
You're talking about one thing they don't teach in school? They don't teach about the USS Liberty, where Israel literally came, blew up an American ship because they want us to get in their war with Egypt, and they don't teach that in school. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your question.
I have a question. Why is there this societal taboo around criticisms of Israel? For example, AIPAC doesn't have to register as a foreign lobby, but like the Australia lobby does. And it just
that should be changed. That should be corrected. Look, I am not going to say Israel should have any special privileges. None.
Hello, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Bakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that tune in to listen and learn. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. As always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. All right, the name of this one is going to be Esau Divided. Esau Divided, man, because as you can see on the video, in that short video, that was the, I believe his name is Glenn Beck. He was doing some type of youth college speech touring thing. These people, this is what they do, and they speak on the climate of like the political climate. You know, that's the type of thing that these people speak on. And I just found interesting that he was being because obviously they had the microphone up there for questions, but the way that they was grilling him, you know what I mean? Like, those kids came prepared, man. Them little Edomites came prepared for the harder questions and I would say unpopular facts that had to be stated, man. You know what I mean? And the Lord used those young dudes to bring that out. I thought it was great, and I through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai said, man, let me put a few scriptures together, just because of the fact, man, like, you see this division, man, and the Inquisition, as the head of my camp, Lahab, likes to mention and bring out, because that's exactly what it is, man. Esau is being questioned, and on top of that, he's being grilled by his own people, which is beautiful in itself, man. You know what I mean? Because when a poor man speaketh, nobody bats an ear, man. But when a rich man speaketh, everybody lends their ear. And Esau, whether they're young or old, man, these people have more validity in this society, because it is their kingdom. You know what I mean? So, it takes them to say what we've been yelling out for years, for everybody, the masses to notice, or the people to notice, right? Even though the Lord will wake up and open the ears of those that have to listen to the prophets that are out there sighing and crying, okay? Because the word of the Lord doesn't go out void, doesn't come back void, man. It's going to achieve that what it was meant to achieve, which was to gather the elect, okay, break down the strongholds, man, and usher in, the coming of the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh Shai, all right, through the preaching of the gospel, man, okay, through the mouthpiece of the Lord, which are the prophets, man. And and now I'm here through the spirit of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, doing just that, man, by bringing and putting to light, or putting the spotlight on this little interaction between this Glenn Beck, man, and these younger Edomites, man. Because as hard as it is for them to believe, or for them to admit that not only so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are their true threats, because of the fact that the truth is coming out in Israel. The elect is waking up to the truth. But these Edomites, man, are also a thorn in that on that ass, man, because hey, the Lord's putting the spirit on these men, on these young people, man, you know, to question their own, man, you know, and use fact-checked facts to do such thing, man, you know. You know, and they brought out a lot of good points, man, you know, such as the small hats, you know, using your U.S. Babylonians for wars, whether it's joint or through proxy, okay? They didn't mention it here, but Babylon has funded billions of dollars into Israel, you know. Babylonians have sacrificed their own, you know, mostly, you know, so-called blacks and Latinos, who they put in the very front lines, but even their own has died in the line of service, man, for wars that Babylon has been directly linked to, right? But brought to Babylon or introduced to Babylon by the small hats, man. You know, like the few that that the young man mentioned in the beginning. You know, Syria, Iraq. These are nations that went down, man, shortly after 9/11. You know, and are still occupied, man, by Babylon. You know, one of them mentioned how it's not taught in the American food system, the history of the USS Liberty, which is very ironic. It being named that way and it being bombed by the very people that are trying to, you know, basically circumvent the Constitution of Babylon, man. All right, wherein lies and states the liberties, so-called liberties and freedoms that your servicemen go to fight for, man, and these people are trying to basically do away with. The very same people that bombed USS Liberty, man, are trying to take your liberties away, man. So you can't speak on them, you know, which is why one of the young dudes said or questioned why it's so taboo in society to speak on Israel or an AIPAC and how they're not registered, okay? You know what I mean? So all these things are coming out, man, and Esau's in the hot seat, man. Whew, Salakia. You know, their Lord Bibi has even came out on a recording, man. You know, I don't know if it was done purposely or not, but it looks like it was purposely, man, because they put it on the online, you know what I mean? But he was recorded and exposed of saying, and I quote, "It's easy for him, you know," he said, it's easy for him to control Babylon. Okay, this man has come out and said that, and Babylonians are pissed off, man. Okay, well respected Babylonians, TV personas, you know, your regular Joe Blow from around the way, these people are pissed off, man. You know, and they're tight that these people are using them, you know. But at the same time, them being used is something that is old. Babylon has always been used, man. This is the whore, man. Okay, they're just finding out that their mom is a whore, that their motherland is a whore. You know what I mean? And it's killing them, man. They're through. They're defeated, and it's beautiful to see because it's imploding, man. You know, don't get it twisted, man. It's only a little weird looking or sounding to some because they don't know the history of Esau, man. They don't know that, you know, these people in Canada, these people in Russia and Europe, you know, here in Babylon and Australia, these are all the same fucking people. These are all Edomites, man. Okay? These are all Edomites. It may not seem like they're divided. You know, some of from over here speaking on, you know, them 48ers from across the Atlantic, but they're the same people, man. They're the same people. As a matter of fact, the 1948ers are the head tribe of the Edomites, man. Okay, they're the head tribe, and this is why, you know, all the others, you know, basically, how does it say that? They bend the knee at their beckoning or reckoning or whatever. Basically, you know, their wish is their command, man, and whatever they say goes. This is why Babylonians out here in so much debt, and a child that's born out there in Israel, the mom starts receiving a check, you know, from when the child is born straight to her bank account to when the child is, I don't know, 18, 19, whatever the fuck. By then, she's probably a quarter mil in. That child is set, man. You know, if they play their cards right. But this is why they have so much bread when they come out here, man. But nonetheless, man, you know, let me get into some scriptures, man, because all these things are being exposed. All these things are coming out. And Esau is noticing it, man, and has been noticing it, and is getting to the boiling point to where they don't give a fuck, man. They outright just calling them out, calling them evil, calling them manipulators, you know, basically, you know, people that are taking advantage of Babylonians. And, you know, it's beautiful to see, man, because at the end of the day, they're just divided amongst themselves. It don't matter that some are Americans, some are so-called Israelis, man. You know, the Lord has these people fighting amongst themselves, and the elect see it and rejoice over it, man, because these are tokens also of these end times, man. You know, the earth is on a whole nother vibration right now, man, and it's vibrating more positive towards for us than for them, because even all the, you know, wars breaking now and ICBMs making the whole earth shake to and fro, as the scriptures say, the Lord is going to have the earth shaking like a drunkard. You know, that's all of the Lord, and these things must need to pass. These things need be, because we need them to pass so then we could be in the kingdom, man. Without these things passing, prophecy don't hit and we don't get in the kingdom, man. So we need these things to happen, man. All right, but sticking to the point, just want to bring out a few scriptures. The first one I want to bring out is 2 Thessalonians 2:3, where it says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come in a falling away." Now, the day that it's speaking of is the day of Yahushua, right? When Yahweh gives the green light to Yahushua to go save and redeem his elect, okay? That day, and that day wasn't coming until there was a falling away, and there was a falling away, all right? The peak of it being 70 AD, when our people had to leave our land, Israel, man, and where the heathens, you know, took advantage, came in and ransacked the temple, okay, and everything else in the land. And ever since then, they've been trotting down Israel, man, you know, with their feet, man, doing all sorts of abominable works over there, man, in our land, okay? But that falling came away, and the day that it's speaking of is the day of the Lord, all right? For that day shall not come, except that there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, okay? The son of perdition, who is Esau, man, okay? Started with their head tribe, Amalek, okay? This is the son of perdition, man. Verse 4 says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God." Who opposeth and exalteth himself above everything that is of the Lord, right? From creation, the very creation of everything. He'll call it, you know, the Big Bang Theory. He'll explain it that way, you know, basically excluding the Lord, man, exiting him out of creation and everything that has to do with life, period, man. All right? Who opposes? So the son of perdition is going to be opposing, and is going to be opposing the Lord and exalting himself above above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. This is the man of perdition, and nobody else is doing this but Esau, man. Remember when I said that all these different nations, even though they call themselves different by different nations, they all the same people. These are all Edomites. Okay. One place where he shows himself to be above God is in the Roman Catholic Church, man. Though they will say, the Pope will say in one breath, you know, how we are to, you know, reverence the God and his teachings and whatnot, right? And in the same breath, he will say something like, you know, there's no one else with more authority than him on earth, right? And then what that does is, whatever he says, people that wholeheartedly believe this man are deceived by this devil will believe it too, you know, down to your regular schmegular Israelites. Because I'm not speaking on these other nations. They could believe on dirt for all I care, but they have our people, you know, worshiping idols, man. From Jesus to these different saints that they've even fucking named their own people saints and whatnot. This is all blasphemy, man. You know, the whitewashing of the Lord. You know, this is all blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, man. And they don't get no second chances or no redemption or saving, man. They're all gonna fucking die here, man, after they serve their slavery, man. Okay? So you wigger lovers, man, y'all assed out, and y'all gonna be both thrust through, man, when the Lord comes. This is the book of Matthew 12:26. It says, and if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Right? You know, if this is BB's kingdom, because he could wield it wherever, you know, where to his will, well, he has people in his kingdom that are totally against him, you know, and have a lot of influence to basically convince others, man, of the same. And you just had that oh no, it's gonna happen actually in a few days, the No Kings protests, man, with a bunch of other protests going on weekly around the United States, man, because everyone is against these devils, you know, and then the devils that they're against is the elites of this country, right? Trump and them, but then they don't know that Trump works for Bibi and them, man. Some of them don't, you know. So at the end of the day, even though Bibi thinks this is his kingdom, if he could do whatever he wants with them, his kingdom is divided, man. So how's it gonna stand, man? You know, how then should it stand? There's no way for it to last, man. As a matter of fact, this is Isaiah 19:2. It says, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptians, man. All right? You Edomites against other Edomites, man. You so-called white people against other white people, man. Whether it be here amongst yourself in Babylon, or here the Babylonians against Israelis, man. It don't fucking matter. Alaskans or Canadians against Babylonians. It don't matter. Y'all the same people. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight. And now this is specifically more over here, right? And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So everybody's going to be fighting over here against each other, all these Edomites. But guess what? Eventually, Edomites are going to fight also the 48ers. You got the Europeans, and you got NATO, and you have that evil thought that the Lord speaks about I think in the book of Revelations, where he says he's going to put this evil thought on them, you know, and they're going to basically do evil among Egypt, man, Babylon, America. Okay? They shall think of evil thought that the Lord is going to put in their minds to destroy this place, man, to send missiles to this place, man. You feel me? Again, so, and they shall fight everyone against them, everyone against his brother. This country is divided highly, man. And people could barely have conversations without getting into heated arguments and sometimes fights. How much more when there's sedition, man? And they're ganging up against one another, man. And you dumbass, simple ass Jakes that were to and fro these people, man, get caught up in the middle of that, and they turn their backs on you because you're also a common problem to them. Okay? Everyone against his neighbors, city against city and kingdom against kingdom, man. These different nations against other nations, man. Okay, and it's beautiful. Call Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua for that, man. I'll leave you with this last scripture. And from the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 2, it says, Behold, I have made thee small against the heathens. Thou art greatly despised, man. This is ultimately all of Esau, all of Edom, right? Idumea, so-called white people, right? The devil that the Bible speaks of, man. But, hey, by their own mouth, by their own tongue, right, falling upon themselves, these JOOs, these 48ers have admitted openly that they're only like 9 million deep in the whole earth, on the whole earth, man. So yeah, you're very small, but you're also insignificant, man. Going into worthless, man. You don't mean anything, man. You got people doing your will, right? These politicians, because you had to blackmail them and pay them off, but all that's for nothing. You lived your whole fucking existence over here bribing, paying people off, being the devil that you are, all on the low, wanting to just do it on the open or whatever. And the Lord is just letting you have little taste of that here and there by exposing what some of your people do around the earth, right? Such as like in South Central America, where a bunch of them got basically banned and kicked out of the country, I believe, for, raping children, man. Jake's children on top of that, man. So the people doing away with you. So all these things are coming out, man, and the Lord is exposing these devils, man, and it's beautiful, because he's on his way out, and the way the Lord just has them all fucked up in this rulership, man, thinking that he's running things and at the same time, destroying him from the inside out, man. It's just beautiful to see. It's truly divine intervention, man, because if it was up to just us, we would just, fight, go to war with one another. But the Lord got, the true drama king, man, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man, and it's, and he's showing his power in these last days, man, by exposing these devils and making this whole thing boil up to a whole nother level where people are going to be putting pause, on one another, man, So, we can't wait for that day. We can, patiently, but, hey, we pray that day come sooner, man, because it can't come any sooner, man. In closing, I want to just give all honors and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua for giving me the inspiration to bring this out. I pray that it was edifying, and I just want to say, send out salutations, double honors actually to the apostles of GMS who teach and rule well. Salutations to you brothers in the highways and byways doing the work. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters that always tune in to listen and learn. To you all, I say shalom, ababa bo, kwam, yasharala.